I'm Meghan, and this is Confessions of a Female Founder, a show where I chat with female entrepreneurs and friends about the sleepless nights, the lessons learned, and the laser focus that got them to where they are today.
Meghan Markle has a new podcast. In it, she has admitted she's overwhelmed by motherhood, and having Archie and Lilibet is, quote, not how she envisioned being a parent. Despite having a nanny and millions in the bank, the Duchess told Cassandra Thurswell she was overwhelmed, she said. I've always wanted to be a mum. I'm going to give a speech with a baby on my hip. I had a whole vision. You fast forward, granted, I had a lot of external things happening by the time I had both pregnancies and both babies, but it was not the way I envisioned it. This admission comes after months of speculation of a rift between Harry and Meghan. Bev Turner said Meghan has a victim complex, which may soon lead her to resent her husband.
We don't know yet how well Meghan's business is going to do. Her podcast isn't rating that brilliantly. Their Netflix deal is up for renewal later this year or early next year. Is that going to be renewed?
And Cameron, sure. Everything you talked about there is Meghan. What's Harry doing apart from Invictus Games, where he appears on stage every 2 years? He doesn't appear to have a job or a role apart from being one step behind his American wife.
He's doing lots of little bits, isn't he? As you say, I think Meghan is certainly claiming the limelight at the moment. They do have some joint initiatives, for example, the Parents Network, which is trying to make the online world safer for teenagers who very sadly are very badly affected by the internet, some of which have taken their own lives or are killed as a result of it. So they do have those kind of initiatives. But the problem is it's not kind of consistent and there doesn't seem to be one unique thing that they're honing in on. It seems to be just kind of throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks, some people would argue. But, you know, there's no reason to believe that they feel like they've failed. Meghan's Instagram is very glossy, isn't it? It looks like they're having a brilliant time in California. But we'll have to wait and see what the next couple of years has in store.
She just does all these awful podcast interviews which are painful. I mean, you would literally keel over. They are so saccharine and sentimental and self-indulgent, narcissistic, belly button gazing. All about me, and she gets the tears and it's just tragic, really. And I feel so sad because I remember that wedding day, like you say, the British public were so pleased.
They were.
She was a fantastic actress in Suits. I don't care what anybody said. She's a really good actress. She's beautiful on camera. She should have, when she gave up acting, I remember sitting there at home and going, well, that's it. She's given up her identity. Now she's going to be a pain in his backside for the next however many years. And the issue is going to be when she turns on him.
Meghan Markle breaks down the polished image. In a raw and revealing moment, she finally opens up about the intense strain of motherhood, the toll on her mental health, and the growing divide between her and Prince Harry. Behind the royal smiles and Hollywood glamour, Meghan confesses she's been quietly overwhelmed. From media scrutiny to parenting pressures, the Duchess says the weight has been unbearable at times. She reveals how the mounting pressure led to tension with Prince Harry. Not a divorce, but a rift. Long nights, stressful projects, and raising 2 children in the spotlight have strained even their famously united front. Meghan paints a picture many mothers know: exhaustion, guilt, and the invisible load of being everything to everyone. But when you're a duchess, the world watches your every misstep. She admits she's felt isolated, even trapped, in the carefully curated image of royal-turned-activist. And as Meghan says in her own words, I was overwhelmed. But I couldn't show it. It's a glimpse into the emotional cost of fame and the price of perfection. This confession could mark a turning point. Will it earn Meghan compassion or further criticism? And how will Harry respond as the world hears just how deep the rift goes?
Because somebody like that, who's always casting herself as the victim in every single situation, at the moment they're both doing it, as soon as she thinks she's the victim of him and any of his behaviour, then it's going to go horribly wrong for Harry.
And there's a pattern of behaviour, isn't there? She doesn't talk to her family at all. Any of them. And Harry no longer speaks to any of his family.
Well, we saw that at the wedding, didn't we? Because she only had her mother at the wedding, whereas obviously Prince Harry had all the friends and family there.
Her father since.
And I'm sorry,
He's a sick man.
Families are difficult and families can be complicated. But what you do as a mother is you always try and make sure that your children have contact with their grandparents first and foremost. And by them stepping away from the royal family, it it means that her children don't have any access to King Charles and Camilla.
And I think that's the saddest point. And I think I obviously can't speak for King Charles, but I can imagine he's very upset that he cannot see his grandchildren. And clearly, as I said, the trust is gone. There isn't any contact, we don't believe, directly between Prince Harry and the King because of this security issue. And I think, looking back, you know, in 10 years' time, what are Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet going to be thinking about their grandparents? What are they being told?
They'd be like, hang on a minute, you've estranged me from that lot. They're literally the royal family and I don't talk to them. What were you thinking?
And if he brought Archie to the coronation, Archie could have been in the family photograph, which would be part almost of his historical right to have been in it.
Well, perhaps they don't want it. Perhaps they don't want that for their children. They want to keep them out the limelight.
Sure.
Now the couple are trying to rehabilitate their image, with Meghan being raw in podcast interviews.
My gosh, I work so hard and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard. And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done. It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth and I'm just so proud of them.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one.
Are you in love now more than ever? More than you've ever been?
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine at the beginning, everyone has like butterflies and then we immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, like 6 months into dating.
But even public opinion in the US has soured.
I'm not a fan of hers. And I would say this, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
Harry said he wants to make up with the royal family, but stepped his foot in it again by calling his father's longevity on the throne into question.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
Harry told the media the risk to his family is too large without private security.
Where does this leave things moving forward? The ability of your children to see their grandfather?
Life is a precious thing, and I'm acutely aware of the fragility of that. I can only come to the UK safely if I'm invited.
But public sympathy waned again when it was revealed the prince, who claimed publicly it was too unsafe to come to Britain, had in fact been wandering up and down a London street searching for a Deliveroo order.
I think that Harry is doing what they do in California, which is telling his own truth, which is quite different to the actual truth. And the idea of having a Deliveroo driver, this is a man who is claiming that he needs protection from potential Al-Qaeda terrorists, having Deliveroo drivers who are often Afghani, certainly from that neck of the woods, coming to deliver with a big box
Obviously,
on the
we
back.
are not suggesting that anyone that delivers for Deliveroo who might come from Afghanistan is ergo a terrorist, but we are making the point that it could be anyone turning up at the door with a box full of anything. That's the point here, and I do get your point about...
We are treading on eggshells, of course.
We're treading on, but we always tread on eggshells just because we need to be very careful, but I do get the point that you're trying to make.
Richard Palmer, however, said that despite reports, Harry and Meghan were strong.
They have been out having a good time, celebrating Beyoncé at one of her concert things. I mean,
Cowboy Carter.
Oh, right, there you go. I mean, I have to say, it's a lovely picture. I mean, they look happy, Harry in his cowboy hat. I mean, that's, they seem to be getting on all right, don't they?
That's my assessment of it. I mean, there's some of the reporting over the weekend has suggested it's all a PR show because things are not great behind the scenes. But I really don't pick that up, I have to say. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think there's a lot of angst there. There's a lot of angst from Harry, particularly about the family rift. And I mean, on that score, I mean, I think I was talking on GB News about how his remarks in that interview last Friday, was it, about how he didn't know how long the king had got left, how that would really upset the king and the palace, because it undermines their message that he's getting better and all is well. But I guess what I haven't quite appreciated is that he really doesn't know. His father hasn't shared his prognosis with him. So I think he could have chosen his words more carefully there, but he was just expressing the fact that he doesn't know what's wrong with his dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're doing okay as a couple from what I gather.
Only time will tell. Nicholas Dunning, GB News.